Alrighty. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the ACD or the TWI Talks after chapter discussion for 9.47 Ulvama. Uh, we're gonna do just general impressions a little bit, but I think I'll start off here. I have to say, this is I personally really enjoy this one. This had one of my favorite, I don't know, themes or not tropes, but one of my favorite things that Pirate does is that treats Aaron like a goblin. She is the chieftain of the goblins of the Wandering Inn, and I love that. Ulvama is her shaman, just kind of fall into it, but Ulvama is always treating Aaron like she would the chieftain of a tribe. She's looking out for the mental health of the chieftain, and I really enjoy that. Anytime like Callison to Ulvama poker or just nod and grunts and stuff, that is some of my favorite stuff. It's just so thematic to me, and I really enjoy that kind of thing. Also, Aaron being just the the bear waiting for someone to poker, lying in the middle of the inn, face down like Salus. That's just some, I don't know, it's just classic Wandering Inn stuff, and I really enjoy that. Wiggles, what did you think about the chapter, basically?
I do agree with you that having Aaron be treated basically as another goblin is always funny to see. It's something that's pretty true at this point. She's basically an honorary goblin, and it's fun seeing that, and it's fun seeing her accepted by all the goblins and how they trust her so much.
Yes.
One thing I will note on your second point is we almost had a different chapter. The stream started out differently, and then they erased half of it and went a different direction. So we could have had a chapter where Aaron just literally blew up, but it was a much more relaxed chapter this time around, and I definitely enjoyed it. It was just it's just a very relaxing chapter, very slice of life. We got a few heavy topics in there, like Aaron almost discussing her issues.
I know that's something I definitely want to bring up, but that was crazy shit.
But yeah, this was a really good chapter for me. I like 8 out of 10, basically. Yeah, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, that's 9 maybe. I'm a huge Aaron stan. Anytime Aaron on the screen, it's my favorite time. But especially when she's being either crazy or badass. That's my favorite.
She is my favorite character too.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have her as the favorite character.
Well, yeah, I mean, makes sense. But I have seen some dissenting opinions, but that's cool. I have to say, it's really interesting as a not stream watcher, because I don't want to be spoiled. I kind of I like getting it all at once and then not having it be, this is canon, what happened, I don't really need to feel I get confused. It's big enough, without being confused about what could have happened or what should have happened before, seeing someone rewrite it.
I'm not saying it should have been different. I'm just saying it was almost different, and it's interesting to see how it went from one direction into a different direction. That's all.
Oh, totally. So it's interesting to hear what you said it could have been, and it's like, wow, that's I could totally see Aaron exploding too, but I'm really happy. Well, I'm pleased with the way it came out, but maybe I would have been pleased the way it came out before. So who knows? But yeah, there were some definitely some developments in this one that I don't know if we want to start off heavy or you want to start off light. What do you think?
Say that again. Sorry.
Do you want to start off heavy with the deep stuff, or do you want to start off with the kind of fun, light, fluffy stuff?
Let's do some fluffy first, and then we'll do
Alrighty.
do the deeper stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So,
So wait.
first
Did
of all,
you read
Aaron.
out the general impressions?
Oh, my bad. Clicky. There we go. Where do we start? Christ Almighty. Are we starting with Kale? Okay. Yes, we're
Yeah,
starting with Kale. Okay. Kale said, level 20 witch, level 20 witch. Let's go. Almighty Nubs. Yeah, big fan of Ulvama and Aaron interactions. Hell yeah. Sato. Aaron nearly fisted everyone except Sailor. Okay. Then you, yes, we know they know. Sylvania is your favorite chapter. Wavu. Rabbit Eater is the best. Y'all are nerds. Okay. Rabbit Eater is pretty good, but he's nothing without Aaron. Asato. Pirate very intentionally pivoted away from writing a stressful chapter. Interesting how they flipped the mood so easily. Interesting. Yeah. Alrighty. Yeah. Sorry, I was on the wrong chat.
it's all good.
So, level 20. She hit the milestone. This seems like a pretty big deal. And she gained what is it, a spell school, or there was a way whether they described it. Let's see. Yeah, spell school, color magic proficiency obtained, drain color obtained, infused color obtained, basic painting. That's new. For all y'all color sighted folk, you know, probably going to be in for some really awesome fan art, but terrible at that. So yeah, let's talk about the color. I mean, what do you think these powers are going to be like, man? You know, I have no clue. Honestly, I have no clue. Someone tell me about it.
So yeah, we it's definitely an interesting choice because, like, first of all, she got basic painting. Like, okay, we've never seen Erin paint before, but we have heard about her writing skills, and her handwriting is apparently atrocious. So I'm not gonna say anything about her painting, but I'm gonna guess it's not gonna be good. But the other two skills are really interesting because, Erin has a lot of fires that
Sure.
are color based, and I think the obvious way this is going to go is pairing her drain color and fuse color with her fires. She'll drain the fire. She'll drain. Let's just go with an example of drain the mercy fire and infuse that mercy fire into something. So she'll be, basically enchanting it with that color in some way. And the color itself is representative of the emotion. That's kind of how I'm seeing it right now.
So Aaron holds on to the platinum, not the platinum or mithril piece, and channels the rage she feels into that thing, and then she hands it off to Castigna, and it blows up. Maybe burns her.
Yeah. She'll drain her hate fire into, and infuse it into a knife, and then she'll stab them with it. That's like the ultimate hope for what I have, because this feels like what I can't really think of anything else that it would be used for except for her fires. The emotions she gets from people, they come in colors too, I guess. Her wonder emotions are colorful as well, so maybe that will play a factor in as well.
What if she starts painting rooms of the inn, and they become like, there's the sexy room, or here's the glory room, or here's the the sad room. She could like just
Yeah,
that'd be
that would
kind
be
of cool.
fun.
I mean, I think that would depend on like, do we know if like, I just don't remember if classes like are affected by overall level? Because she's a witch of second chance at level 20, yes, but she's of course an innkeeper of level 49 as well, and dancer and so on and so forth. I just genuinely don't remember.
I think overall level is kind of taken into account when something's done, but it's not overly clear. Next time, Battlesheet, give me an at next time you want to jump in,
Okay.
and I'll
Yeah,
call you
sorry, I
out.
didn't know how this works. My bad.
No, it's still fine. It's just fine. Wiggles, what do you think about that? You think her being almost level 50 is gonna increase her witchy powers as well?
As in directly? As in
Well,
her level 50 classes empowering her level 20 class? I'm pretty sure we've
yeah.
been told like explicitly that's not how it works.
Oh, okay. It's
I,
been
I
a
think. I think.
it's a big book.
Yeah. I could
Oh,
be wrong about that, but I believe that's was brought up in the
yeah.
past.
Kel
But
just something.
if they consolidate, they will.
Oh yeah, totally. Definitely consolidation's gonna. Oh, damn, she's already. I'm not. I know somebody was very adamant about Aaron hitting level 20 before any consolidation happened with with um with the innkeeper and everything. So I know they're very happy about that. But God, she's gonna be a level 70. I mean, a combined level 70, and that's scary. I mean, she'll probably be just still around 50 when she consolidates, but that's gonna be so crazy, man. But I have to say, Kel added something here, and I will get ready to read back the other ones. But Kel pointed out painted Antony. She, what if she could add her fire powers or her powers just to any of the painted Antonium? That is an awesome freaking idea. And there was also a mention of TC and Ulvama, all everybody synergizing with with Aaron. That's really awesome. Pilot is a really good writer to come up with these ideas, man. All right, so let's see. Action Kermit says, "Oh, there it is." I think Ulvama, Aaron, Zern. Oh yeah, Zern, TC, and TC have a lot of possible painting synergies. Also, Aaron can distill concepts and could maybe mix them into a pigment that would make it magical. Ooh, that's clever. Mystical Pie says, I think the color magic could also tie into some of her witchy creations, like how she needed every ingredient of the shadow loaf to be black. Yeah, okay, see that. Um, Almighty Nubs says maybe she can drain the black from the shadow bread so she can paint things to be stealthy instead of using the bread as a medium. Oh, that'd be better. Like if what if she picked one of her gardens and just painted all that in shadow loaf black? Just whoosh, the entire thing's just completely obscured from scrying, or even more so than the gardener would be already. That'd be crazy. Action Kermit says, I think classes influence skill power, and consolidation raises the power of the skills from minor classes that get incorporated. Yes, gotcha. And then there was Kel's painted Antoniums, yes, and Ulvama's magical paints and view colors for more magics, and put that on them. That would be crazy. I mean, imagine a bright red, crimson Antonium, hanging out with yellow splatters and purple smiles. I don't even know what purple. What is Aaron's purple color? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I
Okay,
don't think we've had a purple yet.
no, yeah, okay. I don't know. That's just too potent, man. There's so much color. God, Pirate is really good. They've been doing this for so long now. First he was just fire. You're thinking everything is just fire, and you don't even consider that, TC or Ulvama or the Pain and Antium, who've been around forever. You know,
Oh, purple is happiness.
oh, there you go. Oh, purple smile. Holy crap! Jesus. just so many things lined up really well. And when I was thinking about consolidations for the first time, you try to think about themes, right? How is this going to fit? Aaron is fire since Mabiola really taught her, emotions, goblins, and the inn, but I never thought colors in general would be a power of Aaron's, and that's hugely expanded her toolbox. And it was set up completely, just left me, I'm completely oblivious. So that was an awesome turn of, awesome twist, Maya. Yes. Let's see. Mighty Nub says, is 20 high enough to consolidate with Innkeeper at 50? I think so. I really do. Woof. No, you were not skipped. I was just going to read it, and then I started talking. I will get to you right in a second. Xander says, Drain Goblins. Drain Darkness from Gothica. That would be, she just, Gothica gives her lips. She just looks at her and squints and snaps her fingers, and all of a sudden, all the black disappears. That would be hilarious. Nub says, Purple Happiness. Xander says, I thought purple was rain. And I'm sorry, Wov, please join us. I apologize about that.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say that I think we've seen a lot of these spells that could be gained from a color-based spell school. Like, I think Zern has used the Somber World of Blue against assassins before, and it made it so that anything that wasn't blue basically didn't count. And I think we've seen also Blue Lightning and a few other spells, and it seems like, in for terms of combat, it just sort of makes it so that anything that doesn't align with that color doesn't work. And then, of course, you also add in like Aaron's Flame and how it's able to evoke emotions, and I think that we're going to be able to see a lot of utility to it, but I also think that primarily what we're going to see in the short term, because the solstice coming up, is Aaron's going to be looking at the combat potential and see how it can be used against the dead gods during the solstice. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there, that we've seen these spells before.
That is a great idea, and completely forgot about Zern's Blue World thing. You're totally on the mark on the money for that. And I would love for this to facilitate more contact with Nears, and just like bring them together more. I'm a big fan of that. But
one thing I wanted to emphasize too is that again, I didn't emphasize this that much, but it's Somber World of Blue. So we've seen that this, for whatever reason, even in the past, these colors have been tied to emotions before. Like, the spell was literally called Somber World of Blue, so there's this emotional aspect to it. So I just really think it's a perfect fit for Aaron. And I never really thought about it before, but the seed for this has been laid, like, way back in Volume 7. Volume 7.
That's crazy, man. Great planning, and just like, I love that stuff. But no, it's actually interesting because we know that Aaron has her own colors. Maviola had her own colors, but I wonder if the somber blue, if that's who's blue. I mean, blue is often for sadness, right? I mean, you feeling blue, that's the thing. But do we know if Aaron's blue and Maviola's blue are the same, or is? Yeah, go for it. Go.
I think we did get an explanation for this again in Volume 7. I think Ryoko was talking to Zern, and Zern says that the color and the emotion doesn't always match. So, like, when Zern was talking about her eyes and why they are a certain color, she was saying that, like, happiness isn't always purple, happiness isn't always green, or whatever. So it changes how someone's feeling at the moment, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember, it's been a long time, but there was a talk about that a little bit, but it's apparently nuanced.
I do remember something like that. But I just know Howrak had a blue flame light him, and he was definitely somber. Definitely sad.
I think Holrix and the other Knights of Solstice have gotten a lot of influence from Aaron's fires, basically. So they associate it with the same or similar emotions as Aaron does.
I think I have to agree with that. Oh God, just gonna have an entire squad of color powered, more than fire, just color powered more than God,
Yeah,
that's so cool.
and I will say
So
that
cool.
I think that part of the infusing the color or draining the color is taking what the color represents. So, if the color represents happiness to you, so let's say for for Aaron, that's purple, as we just figured
Mhm.
out. For Maviola, that's yellow, white. So
Yeah.
if you're draining the color, it's still going to maintain whatever property it was. If Aaron's purple is happiness, that purple that she drains will be happiness. If someone else's color is yellow white, that yellow white will be happiness. I think it depends on the person. It depends on what it is.
It'll be definitely be interesting to get into when Pirate definitely starts making those choices on the
Yeah.
page.
Mhm.
It's that'll be pretty neat. Let's read some more here. Almighty Nub says, "Could Aaron help Nears with the dyed lands now?" I I don't understand the dyed lands enough to give you an answer on that. Wiz, do you have an answer for that? Because I don't.
Say that again?
Could Aaron help Nears with
Oh,
the dyed lands now?
no.
I do not
I
have.
definitely don't. Like, it's a level 20 skill. It's not gonna be usable against everything. The Tidelands are a major threat that you can't just answer with one level 20 skill. I just don't think that will work. Maybe she'll be able to help with a dead monster, or taking color away from a single plant, but it's not like she could do it on a mass scale, or even more than a singular scale. She's a level
Now,
20 witch.
am I remembering correctly that colors that the colors in the dyed lands did all lead did all signify certain aspects about the creatures slash things that they were encountering? Like the yellow ones did X, the blue ones did Y.
Yeah. They were
That
they were
that was happening.
representative. Yeah. So like
Okay,
the black ones were um
like
invisibility
spinning poison.
focused.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think that was the yellow or green ones that were like poisonous.
It would be really cool if Nears could teach her about that, and then she could like summon those from just a flame or something. All of a sudden, this invisible creature just zips out of her black flame,
Yeah.
or that'd be pretty crazy. But just even more colors at, that were seeded in the past. That's
Yeah.
crazy. But I don't understand the dyed lands well enough to really or how they were created enough. I'd have to go back
Well,
and read them.
Well, we don't know how they were created really. Well, we know that there was some event in the past that created them, but we don't know too much about it,
Okay,
and
so
we don't really know too much about the Tidelands.
this wasn't created during the time step or when
No,
the
no,
when the
no,
Seamwalker stepped on it, right?
no, no.
There was
The
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 Dyedlands
Tidelands,
before that.
yeah, the Tidelands are basically like the Bloodfields. They were created a long time
Oh,
ago through a magical spell, basically,
okay,
and they've been a nuisance for uh
a
Belarus
while.
for quite a long time, but they've been manageable. But
They got
the
bumped up the scale when the Seamwalker stepped on it,
yeah, the
right?
the, the time difference basically allowed them to
Evolve.
overrun their
Oh, okay,
their surroundings. But
okay.
Almighty Nub says, I didn't mean solve the Deadlands, just help with it, like their understanding of it and such. But it's like, how would she help understand it more than they could? If she drained the color of, let's just use a black creature since they are invisible. Like if she had drained the color of a black creature, she knows it's invisible, and what else is she gonna figure out from that?
Hmm.
I don't really know.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't. Yeah, it's the innate qualities of the Dyedlands. Quite at this point, I just don't know. You know, like I bet you'd have a interesting take on something that was glory colored, at least. Maybe I don't know. I really don't know.
yeah.
But let's see. Action Kermit says, yeah, color magic sounds like it lets Aaron fight in 4D using color as a new spatial dimension, if it works the way Zern's magic does. I remember Kizimer talking about how serious fighters always fight in more than 3 dimensions. Yeah, that makes sense. Like your time. I can't wait to see Aaron put that stuff to the test. But she literally just got it. It's going to be forever. She has like a week until the summer solstice. She's not going to get a lot of practice in unless the next chapter like explicitly is like her talking to Nears and figuring out, okay, what's this power do? What's this one do? And then she's practicing all day and every day for the next week. I really don't see it coming yet, but the potential after, there's so much potential for after the solstice, but everyone's got to survive the solstice. Damn it. Maybe Mighty Nub says maybe Illa's colors with different emotions, though. Yes. Actually, blue is sorrow, so it still fits. Oh, okay. Maybe Illa's blue is still sorrow. Okay. Kel says you're right, Nibs. Maybe Illa specifically called out the differences in their color to emotional matchup. Alrighty. Jump says, Power Rangers Knights. Indeed. I would love to see that. Linu asks, random question to Aaron Colors that I didn't manage to write in time. Can Aaron nullify Sylvania's skirt's color ever pale white with her skin? Also, if so, can someone take Aaron's skill away, please? No. We've taken enough away from Aaron and given it to Sylvania. No. Bad nibs. Or bad Linu. A squirt bottle at you. We read that from Mighty News. Kel. I think it could offer a new possibility for how to fight it. I think she's referring to the Deadlands. Nears could put out a call to find someone else who has skills in that area. Guess what Nib said? The Time Walker stepped on it. Okay. Just responding to my ignorance. Jelm or Jelmy. I think the main thing with the color skill is that this is the first proper witch skill that synergizes with the Innkeeper class. Probs won't see action until consolidation. That is an interesting point. How do you feel about that? How it consolidates, or that it synergizes with Innkeeper better than her other stuff? Okay, he's busy right now. Xander, could drain the color and put it on an adventure? Yes, indeed. That would be a neat trick. And Almighty Nibs, would colors have been important enough for the witches in the Deadlands to teach Aaron about them? Ooh. You know, the Deadland knowledge it almost feels like the room of requirement in Harry Potter. It could just be absolutely anything. You know, something huge could happen, a huge like surprise, and then Aaron could just be standing there and confidently says, "Don't worry about this. I learned this in the Deadlands," and she could turn around and be a badass about something. That could totally happen. But it's a writing crutch, and I don't see Pirate like reaching for many of those. To be honest, I feel like Pirate is just a successful enough writer that they don't really need to use that type of thing. But I don't know. Maybe there was a color theorist. Or I don't know if she meant any painters. I bet I bet Narabia knows something about color theory. It's always going to do that. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that she'll find something there. That's just my opinion. Wiggles, did you have an opinion on that?
I don't know. I don't know if they would have taught her specifically about colors. Maybe simply because they know that Aaron is her fires are specifically for one color for another. but it seems like kind of specialty knowledge that they might not have touched on.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't seem general use enough.
Yeah, it like it. I think they would have focused more on emotions, focused more on just general witch stuff that she could apply to everything rather than
Yeah.
something specific like color magic.
Like, you need your hat, you need to take something from some people and put it in your hat, and then you can use it. I think that's the basics of what she got from all them. But I don't think they went into crazy detail about other stuff. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. What's up?
Well, I was just going to read out what Action Kermit said.
Go for it.
The gnomes showed Aaron a bunch of crazy inherently magical colors and colors that only appear in deep space when they briefly visited Belarus and the end of the Deadlands arc. 8.80 The very color of magic, light seen only in deep space and places not from this world or hers. Then he put his hands in his pockets. Yeah, so maybe that's where Aaron will go later on. She'll get the color of magic going. That would be
I
really
thought you
cool.
meant into space.
Oh no, no, not
Like,
into space.
Zarkov's gonna wave down like, "Hey, I lost him. Here, on, just take a flight, take a ride."
Yeah, I don't think Aaron's going into space in TWI like ever. She can barely get out of her inn most days. I don't think she's going into space.
It's wandering in. It can wander.
Okay, we've been hearing it's the wandering in. It can wander for 12 million words now. Okay,
I know.
I think we're at the point where we have to accept it cannot wander.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Let's see. Xander says, the blue fey green when you are fed up of snow. Oh, make those blue fey green when you're fed up with snow. Yes, that is actually a pretty clever point. I wonder how they would accept that. It's going to be interesting to see Shaystral and maybe some of the blue fairy, the winter's reaction to the color theory. See if the colors actually have a big meaning in the Fae at all. That'd be interesting. And Xander also says, make the lights on Trappy all green. I think she might be damned by an elemental who did. If I think Trappy would hate her even more, and then the Fae would eat your eyes. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Jesus. Alrighty. Well, that was definitely a good gander on colors. Let's see here. Let's keep it a little more. Still not get heavy yet. But here's one. We're gonna talk about Ulvama a bit, if that's cool. How have your thoughts on Ulvama transformed over time? Do you like her now? Does this chapter help explain her past in a way that makes your point of view, makes you view it more positively? I have to say, I don't think I ever really disliked Ulvama. I could tell, or I felt like over early on that at least when she met Bevel Snatch, that she was just being a tsundere, just pretending to hate everything. But at the same time, she did come from mountain, from the mountain something caves, mountain caves, and I didn't really think about the implicity there, or the stuff that went down. I haven't thought about that in quite a bit. And after being reminded of it this time, I mean, obviously there was a big to do about that in this one. It does make me think about her a little differently. I was surprised to learn her age this chapter. It's 26. That's pretty big. And yet, and now I'm just really curious about goblin biology as a whole. But I don't think I think I've just liked Ulvama since she was picking on Mersha after Aaron died, because I could just tell how how much she cared about stupid little Noel child when always being sad. I just really enjoyed that. What do you think, Luke?
First off, she's 29. Okay,
29?
very important
My
that
bad.
you get those 3 extra years on there. She's 3 extra years older than most goblins ever get,
That's very true.
But yeah, I was the one who wrote this question, and basically I was thinking about how when Ulvama was first introduced, she was horrible. She was like one of the worst goblins we've seen, and she was really very complicit with
That's the
Tremberag's
word I
whole
wanted.
tribe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the word I wanted.
she was instrumental in Tremberag's tribe and keeping them under control, and she really looked down on Rags in every scenario. So it's very interesting to me to see how she's changed in a lot of ways, and it's a lot like Tyrion has changed. How we've seen Tyrion turn from universally regarded as an antagonist to maybe 75% of people still regard him as an antagonist or something like that. I don't know the actual numbers, but there's still definitely pushback on Tyrion, but he's changed, and
Yeah.
a lot of people have, and a significant portion of people have revised their opinion of him. But Ulvama is a lot like that, in that the way we originally saw her, she was very off-putting, but now she's come to the end. She's had some time to, you know, become accustomed to the inn, and it's really benefited her personally. Like it's really great to see her kind of change for the better.
Yeah, it's the solstice effect, right?
Yeah,
mean-
basically, yeah. That's
I
what
mean,
we could
it's
really dub the solstice effect.
it's Aaron making people around her better, or not better. Different. So this changed. Or
Yeah.
more comfortable. But I really enjoy Ovama's explanation about why she and Rags don't fit together. Like Rags had Pyrite talking to her, had Garen, had a friendly innkeeper with blue fruits and spaghetti. Garen had his his team beforehand. The Molten Stone Drive had witches, but the Mountain City seemed to be on their own. They weren't contacted by. Well, they did have Great Ath. I don't know, but she seemed to think that like they were just the goblin, the quintessential goblin out there. Everything bad they did, and everything bad happened to them as well. It's
Yeah.
like,
And that makes sense when you think
Mhm.
about it, because the majority of goblins do not have an experience with other races that are positive. Rags's experience was unique. Garen's experience was unique. The witch tribe, Anazurhi Anazurhi's tribe, they came from a lot of their goblins came from the island of goblins, who have had some bad experiences with other races, in that they're at war with them basically, but they have their own culture that's been grown up. Most
they have
goblins
a
don't have.
utopia.
Yeah, they have a utopia basically, but most goblins don't have that, and most goblins are constantly hunted. They're constantly killed off, and
And
that's
the
going to affect.
implications, and also the implications of not being, not being killed off. That was some heavy shit. Are we ready to step into this area? Because I think that's definitely a thing. Because the most, I think the most terrible thing that we saw the tribe doing was its treatment of, that is what propelled Rags to leave, right? To
Yes.
scowl, at, because she kept seeing every human in there as Aaron, and she's like, I wouldn't want this to happen to anyone, or not to Aaron or to anyone, and I mean that destroyed the mountain clan, right? Basically.
Yeah.
But I had never even considered, like, beforehand. I think it was a win that those goblins were running around in Visel, and they saved one and kicked him out through the door, Numtum's door, and then Numtum killed him later on. They were talking about what they do to goblins that they don't murder. I think that was the first inkling we got, but I didn't think they were human enough to incite that type of behavior. But we've definitely know that Ulvama is a good, or a sight for the eyes, or a feast for the eyes nowadays. But I didn't really picture goblins that way, and it's gross. First of all,
Yeah.
disgusting.
It's a very gross, very dark look at something that Pirate Abbott generally doesn't touch on. In IRL wars, that kind of stuff is rampant.
Totally.
It's rampant, and we don't hear about it very much, but it happens all the time. And if you don't view these things as anything more than monsters, I can see that problem being a very bad problem for any extermination attempts.
But at the other end of this is that it also nothing will ever validate it, but it does make sense that Ulvama wouldn't care less what happened to human girls after certain things like that happened to her own tribe, or it could, it can explain why, turnabout's fair play type of thing.
Yeah,
they do these terrible things to us, we do these terrible things to them.
It's something you see a lot of. It's just
Sure.
It's revenge, basically. It's one of those emotions, one of those thoughts that are very primal and very strong. An eye for an eye is something quite a lot of people believe in even today, and I'm not surprised that goblins want that.
Yeah.
Or most goblin tribes want that.
True. Like, who is it? The Kraken Eaters is the next big tribe, but we haven't really met most of yet.
Yeah, but we've seen, how they view people.
I mean,
and
almost took off
good.
Namebrank's head very recently.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we want to read up some of these before we step into the heaviest part?
Sure. Do you want me to read them?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Okay. Almighty Nub says, Ulvama is my favorite goblin personally. I hope she stays and actually cements herself as the Inn shaman.
I agree with this.
Yeah,
yes,
I do
very
too.
Much so.
It'd be nice to see her do that, especially because right now it doesn't seem like she's fully implemented herself into the Inn. She's still kind of at an arm's length for most of the Inn outside of Aaron. So just getting her more acclimated to the Inn, getting her to have more friends in there would be nice.
Yeah, she needs to start shamaning for more than just Aaron, I think.
Yeah.
So I think
Linu,
just
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was thinking the whole hair thing would really, I think, making her the hairstylist of the Inn would be a very perfect way to get her some friends. I mean, she's already friendly with Octavia, but I would like to see, it'd be funny to see, Lanette laying down and coming, getting her hair permed or something, comes out with huge red afro or something. But I think it'd be really fun.
It would be fun, and she could do some nice stuff. She'd be fun to have, just styling everyone's hair, making them look like weirdos. All right, Luna says, I don't think much about Ulvama. She's okay, I guess. Most of the Inn's cast is. Also, she's older than me by 5 years. Very true. Kel says, She was a product of her environment, and now that she's out of the environment, she's learning that she doesn't have to be that person anymore. She doesn't have to function in survival mode anymore. Yeah, not being compelled, basically, to not feeling forced, basically, to live in that way is definitely a net positive for her. And the more she's able to get out of that zone, the better off she'll be in the long run.
Totally agree.
Mystical Pie says, I definitely like her more now. I think it really makes sense for her to stay at Aaron's Inn, and she's been doing shamany things with Aaron by being the only person that can check her and discuss emotions with her. I think she's maybe being set up to be second in command for when Lionette leaves. Probably one of the most emotionally mature people in the cast. I like what she's been up to recently. I still don't know if Lionette will leave, but at
Yeah.
the same time, I can see why people are suspecting the Lionette of leaving sometime soon, because she's
Even
been
Leonette thinks she's leaving. Even
Yeah.
Leonette thinks that.
that and we've kind of seen her be left out of some of the inn's decisions a lot lately, and I think that might lead to more of a rift between her and Aaron, or maybe not even a rift, just a growing distance. And Lionette might figure out that her leveling has slowed a lot. She isn't being super fulfilled these days, and she needs to take a different step forward. And I can see that kind of being foreshadowed. So maybe I'm wrong, and she will leave.
I don't see that spot in the cast opening up until there's someone who can literally do Lionette's job in the inn. I mean, she is the manager. She manages the inn. Wow.
Well,
Aaron is
yeah.
not there. And Isker is amazing. He's brilliant, but he's not Lionette. He does not do. Does not wave his hands and people flock to the bidding.
Yeah.
He gets his answer.
One thing is that she's not the only one who will leave. If Lionette leaves, Mersha leaves. It's absolutely going to happen. If Lionette is gone, Mersha has to be gone too. So we kind of have to get someone to replace Mersha as well, which kind of is Nanette. Kind of. Nanette could fill in her spot, but I don't know.
Neri?
Yeah. No, Neri is a vile little thing, and Mersha's, pure and innocent and the best thing ever. She can't do anything wrong, whereas Neri can't do anything right. I think we can all agree on that.
What about that weeping little lamb that Pond found?
No.
Oh, that was a really touching moment, though.
Okay. It is touching, yes. Yeah. She's still evil incarnate, as all Syrians are.
Okay.
Kel says.
Okay, go.
I think I read Mystical Pies, yeah. Kel says, I fully get the shaman that Aaron's chieftain feeling since she started bullying Aaron into taking better care of herself. Yeah. Xander says, Ulvama did rescue Rags and Pyrite from before the list score death marches to goblins. Yeah, she did. She did rescue them. Yeah, she helped them out.
I don't remember when this was. During the death march?
Yeah, it was after Rags and Pyrite's tribe were betrayed by what's his name, Reese. They basically were left for dead, Rags and Pyrite. They're back there in the just in the bodies basically, and Ulvama came to her.
I think I remember. I have to say some of the middle goblin stuff is not the funnest reread. So I kind of skip over it a bit more than I do the other stuff. So my bad.
I still love that goblin stuff, but yeah. Mystical Pie says, I think it's less the solstice effect and more the not Mountain City effect. True.
That's probably true.
Xander says her mom was goblin. Yes, she's half human, half goblin, and it wasn't from a nice birth or a nice impregnation. I guess I don't know how to say that.
Right, actually, all goblin births are goblins, but not all goblin parents are goblins.
Yeah.
Oof.
Ulvama was born from her mother being raped.
Yeah.
Wavu says, Ulvama being 29 was a shock. I never disliked her. She just seemed to be focused on surviving and keeping the tribe functional. Now she's here to help her newfound tribe in the inn. She's essentially doing the same thing as she did in Trembrag's tribe, but now instead of manipulating people for a cruel tribe, she's manipulating a stressed-out innkeeper into doing better. That's kind of true, but I feel like, she still had a lot of issues, even if she was just trying to survive. That doesn't just blanket white out all the stuff she was involved in.
Sure.
Xander says, I think that she sees the bigger picture with Aaron having an impact on Liscor is Ilvris and Pallas. Did you mean Inversil? I think you meant Inversil. And Pallas, and now Tyrion, perhaps? Or maybe you didn't mean Ilvris. I don't know. Aaron is someone that can benefit all the goblins in the longer term. In addition, the things and attitude that Rags has towards Aaron by keeping Aaron functional benefits many goblins and also keeps Rags from going completely rage-fueled. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Aaron is an important figure to a lot of goblins, so keeping her sane, helping keep her sane is a good thing in Ulvama's eyes, I'm sure. Almighty Nub says, I see Lionette staying and being the person in the inn in charge of catering to / dealing with nobles. And Xander replies that by saying, and running the Liscor Gala events.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. I just feel like there's a lot of pressure for her to leave. And so we might just
there is a story out there. There is a story out there for Lionette to go and stand up to her mother and demand, that Mercia is known as her daughter, and all that. There is a good story there.
How could we not get the story of Princess Mercia? We need to see Princess Mercia
in Calenford.
In Calenford, yes, in Calenford.
She has to dropkick somebody. She dropkick.
Princess Calenford, Princess Mercia the Wild. Okay, everyone will love her. I'm sure there will be nothing wrong with, nothing that what's her face Eileen could find wrong with her. Linda says, Jesus, I heard Obama instead of Ulvama, and it sounded so weird. Rescued by Obama. Okay, Linda.
Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama. Almighty Nub says, there will be a confrontation between Lionette and her parents, but I can't see Mercia leaving the inn until she's older. Maybe. Listen, if Lionette leaves, Mercia's leaving. There's no way Lionette leaves her behind anymore. She's done that. She's regretted it immensely. So if Lionette leaves, Mercia leaves.
Yeah. But, I gotta say, though, during this conversation, we learned, a lot about Ulvama, the way she, was brought up. And, oh my AC just turned on. Can you guys hear that? Or am I good?
We can slightly hear it, but it's fine. It's just a little background noise. It's fine.
So, unfortunately, while during this conversation, Aaron attempted to reply back, and there are some implications here that have never come up before, and at least in dialogue. It made me wonder back towards a previous conversation we had about whether or not Aaron had once been the victim of sexual abuse in the past before coming to InWorld. But at the same time, this could also be her first time referring back to what happened with the Goblin Chieftain in Volume 1. And either of those would be immense development, but one would be a little more, would be even greater development than the other. So what's your take? Is this about what happened with the Goblin, or is this something that happened before she came?
I think It's the goblin. That's probably one of her worst memories. It's I don't see her having had an even worse experience than that in Earth. So even if she had dealt with sexual assault in some ways on Earth, I don't think that's what was being referenced here. I think it was definitely the goblin chieftain that uh, uh, she had probably her most formative memory in early TWI. That that whole sequence led to her um, seeing goblins as more than monsters, basically. Surprisingly enough, like a lot of people would have that experience, and they would see goblins as monsters for the rest of their lives. But after that, she um, met Rags. Basically, she got the no killing goblin sign up, and it was a really different experience. But yeah, I do think that was what this was referencing, and I hope she does talk to Ulvama about it someday. I really feel like that discussion with the Ulvama will help Ulvama understand why Aaron can be so reticent about dealing with anything romantic, because I think that is a big part of her issue with anything romantic right now is just that memory. You know,
Yeah.
it's scarred her, even if she doesn't show it very much.
I think I have to agree. I don't. I mean, I was scared for her, for it being something that happened beforehand, but there's been like she didn't act like someone who'd been a victim of abuse. Like she didn't think like someone, at least what I would think in a story, someone ought to have thought like who have been. Anyways. So I did think it really does go back to the goblin chieftain. Um, it is. I really do hope she. I also agree that I really do hope she can get it out because I think it would be uh, extremely valuable just for her to talk about it. I mean, I don't. She's never in all the books ever talked about that. You know, she's been completely silent on what happened um, before. Like I don't think even Kilp knew, and he showed up right after. I mean, I think everybody knows that uh, she was scarred by having to fight and kill for the first time, but I don't think anyone knows about that, and uh, I think it will probably do her love life a lot good to be able to actually, talk about this and try to not get over it, but move it aside or move it to be something, that's not so. Um, it isn't that doesn't have to be the first thing that comes to her head. Sometimes she thinks about the opposite sex. That would be the best.
Yeah, just getting that out there would be a huge step for her.
There wasn't a really big question in this one, except just anybody else in the chat. You guys think? Do you have other thoughts regarding this topic, or think it's nothing else to add? Alrighty. What do you think? You want to move on to some more topics? Do you think we've uh, we've delved pretty well on this one, Liz?
Well, we are coming up on the hour mark, so we should probably wrap it up. Are there any other topics you want to cover?
Not
We did
really.
cover quite a few.
Yeah, I think this is really good. I thought this turned out really well, to be
All right.
honest.
All right. Well, it's about at the hour mark, so I think we should go ahead
Yeah.
and end it then.
Alrighty then. We didn't talk anything about Oneva, Tessa, or any of that. Do you want to maybe hit on those before we go, or because that was kind of important?
Well,
I
hmm, I
I really
can't think
enjoyed.
of.
Oh, sorry, go for it.
I can't think of any topic for that outside of just thinking about the future. It kind of happened this chapter. It was good to see, but I can't really think of like anything to discuss about it. You know what I mean? It was a good
Except for
development.
the subletting of the inn or the beach was funny
Yeah,
with Wayland stuff, but I really appreciated the inn decoration or the beach decorations she was doing. All that's done fun stuff, but I really actually appreciated the way Oneva totally manhandled Tessa. It's like, nah, you're not going anywhere. You're gonna sit down, shut up, eat your food, chill. And I really hate the healer of Tembo.
yeah. She's something else. The healer is something else. I really hope she has comeuppance in some other way than just getting kidnapped. I think the
Goddamn the
kidnapping,
pusher man, you know.
yeah, the kidnapping wasn't enough.
Yeah. Almighty Nib says, I'm not sure where the Tessa plot is going, but I'm definitely interested in finding out.
Yeah.
I have read some heavy stuff about. I mean, there's a story in there about substance abuses and stuff, and Tessa is definitely one of those. Is definitely a character who has been through maybe the worst of what this world has to offer, at least the civilized world. I mean, I there's a dark story in there that I'm not sure is TWI like parallel or there's dark stuff in TWI, but we hardly ever get
Yeah.
into substances and the things people go to, the lengths people go to, to obtain those. I mean, Tessa definitely killed people to get drugs. We know that. Tessa's, I mean, she thinks so less of herself, so little of herself that she's, prostituted herself for her, her. I don't know if she was a prostitute or before that or to get her drugs or if the drugs came afterwards. But it's been terrible. I know that. It's
Yeah, it's
bad.
been really awful for her.
And she was also in the employ or at least under the finger of Rachel at some point, right?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
Oh, I seem to remember when, or maybe misremembering, but I seem to remember something while Numtung and Pisces and she were all having a bath, and she mentioned something. Maybe she just knows about the crap that they do in Russell. Maybe that was what she was referring to.
I could just be misremembering. I don't know. I know she's
But,
had a lot of previous employers that have been not kind to her. I do know that.
Sanders says when the fairy flowers were out, I think Tessa offered herself to Aaron for them. I think she did something like that. Yes, she. Yeah, did not realize it would be free. Yeah, well, they were in the cart driving back from River Farm. There was a very uncomfortable conversation before Aaron told her that the flowers will always be free. You know, she never has to do something like that for him. But yeah, there's a dark story in there for Tessa. I don't know. Maybe it'll be one of those things that Pirate just kind of twist the expectations on in the end, and we don't have to sit through it because angst is hard to read, and there's a lot of very potential angst in that. So
Yeah.
for next game. So I'm gonna decide. Yeah, let's call it there. So thank you everybody for joining me. Thank you Wiggles for being my lovely co-host. You did this exactly how I wanted it to. It turned out great. I enjoyed myself very much, and it was nice having not all the pressure be on one person at a time.
Yeah. Thanks for hosting.
Yeah. Hopefully we could try to do this again sometime. So thank you everybody. and I will see you later.